Welcome to the Real-Time Storytime by Robert R. Ricks. We will get this thing started pretty soon. What I need for you guys right now is just to hold tight. We need to allow people to show up because this show is nothing without the viewers. You see, I require keywords or phrases that you will give me, and I will craft a story based off these keywords. I have about 2.5 minutes to create the story. And then after I create the story, I have to see if I got all of the keywords in, at least 10 of them. We try to have at least 10 to 14 keywords, and I attempt to get all of them in, but if I can get at least 10, it's a good day. Now, I know you guys are going to have some really crazy ones. Now, I do need to warn any new viewers. The existing crew that comes here on a regular basis are filthy, nasty motherfuckers with foul language. If the language is going to be a problem, you might want to check out now, because these stories, 9 times out of 10, are extremely vulgar, sometimes violent, oftentimes very weird, and sometimes funny. Alright, we'll get this thing started pretty soon. Hang tight.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Robert R. Ricks, aka Angry Jackalope for some, but this is the Real-Time Storytime. We do this every Sunday, 7 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Let's say hello to the folks that are on right now. We have the Bronx Jackalope. We have Tenchi, Arizonia, aka the Dracalope, sorry. Garen Crocagator, Paula Elfalope. Backwoods Hickalope was here and then gone. And the lovely Vixen, Mrs. Yakalope, is in the fucking house. Oh, and Backwoods also said, hey, Merry Christmas to everyone, which also Paula had said, Merry Early Christmas to everybody. And this is kind of like the early episode. We're not going to do actually a Christmas one, so this is about as close to Christmas as we're going to get. Backwards already dropped off Tuna, Snatch, and oops, wrong hole. So for you folks that are watching or listening, I should say, on the podcast, this is a show that happens live every Sunday on YouTube, and then I take it and I create a podcast out of it, which you guys can check out on Spotify and other places like that. And the way it works is the folks that are here are going to give me some keywords, and I am going to attempt to make a story out of it. I have a couple of minutes to do it, and that's that. So without further ado, let's give me some motherfucking words.
Please submit your words now.
And what's going to happen is as they give me the words, I will jot them down inside of this here book. And today is December 22nd, 2019. See, number of active viewers right now is 7. Keywords that we already have started is what the fuck did you just say, Tenchi? Midget, vagina, dentata? I don't even know what the fuck a dentata is, dude. So much for I'll try not to be too messed up, right? Midget, vagina, dentata? I don't even know what the fuck that is. Alright, so let's go ahead and get with Backwoods had Tuna, Snatch, which I'm making all efforts for this one not to be pornographic or anything else. Oops, wrong hole. Let's see, and then we had Bloody Reindeer. Bloody Reindeer. Rudolph. Red Nose. Reindeer. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, Frosty the Snowman, a vagina with teeth, Rob. Oh my fucking hell. Alright, White Christmas. Midget, vagina, dentata. Yeah, you know, I'm not really feeling that. How about revise that, Tenchi, for me? Yippee-ki-yay. Yippee-ki-yay. Motherfuckers. God bless everyone. And then there's ham. Yak. I love that. Yeah, I just said ham. Oh, that's fucking hilarious. Let's see. Midget, vagina, dentata. Yeah, I'm not. You know, it's the whole midget thing. I'm really tired of all the midget. And I know you guys throw it out there because I don't like midgets. But, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Christmas Party. And I will take... There you go, Midget Christmas Elf. That works. Read my mind. Midget Christmas Elf. Alright, that works. That works like a fucking champ. Alright, so our keywords are Tuna, Snatch, Oops, Wrong Hole, Bloody Reindeer, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, White Christmas, Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers, God Bless Everyone, Ham, Christmas Party, and Midget Christmas Elf. Oh, and then Black Eyed Peas and Hog Jowls. Okay. Black Eyed Peas and Hog Jowls. Alright. So in recap, for you folks on the podcast, when these words are said during the story, you're not going to get any kind of an indicator. It's not like there's going to be any audio or anything else that's going to let you know. You're just going to have to remember these keywords. Now, I basically have... Let's see. Do I have any kind of Christmassy sounding music or anything close to that? I don't think I do, so I'm just going to roll with Dark Epic. Let's see what this does. Alright, that's pretty fucking ominous, I think. No, it's pretty epic. Alright, so now I'm going to figure out something with Tuna, Snatch, Oops, Wrong Hole, Bloody Reindeer, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, White Christmas, Yippee-Ki-Yay, motherfuckers, God Bless Everyone, Ham, Christmas Party, Midget Christmas Elf, Black Eyed Peas, and Hug Jowls. Alright, Tinchy. Good night. Sleep well. Alright, so... Okay, time is up for me. That was only a 2 minute something song. So anyway, I've got some notes written down here, just some names and some other basic stuff. And again, the words are Tuna, Snatch, Oops, Wrong Hole, Bloody Reindeer, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, White Christmas, Yippee-Ki-Yay, motherfuckers, God Bless Everyone, Ham, Christmas Party, Midget Christmas Elf, Black Eyed Peas, and Hog Jowls. Okay? Alright, guys, that's going to be the words. So, let me get everything ready. Now, when I use these words for the folks that are part of the live show, you're actually going to see this flash. If I can remember to do this, when I say one of the keywords, that will be that. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to take the headphones off. Ah, it feels so much better on the old ears. And I'm going to take my hat off too, just because I want to be nice and comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Take a sip of my Mexican Coke. It's the best Coke there is. And try not to burp. Alright. Here we go. I'm going to try to make this somewhat Christmas related. Obviously the keywords really lend themselves to that. So we have again Tuna, Snatch, Oops, Wrong Hole, Bloody Reindeer, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, White Christmas, Yippee-Ki-Yay, motherfuckers, God Bless Everyone, Ham, Christmas Party, Midget Christmas Elf, Black Eyed Peas, and Hog Jowls. Okay? So that's it. Let's get the story started. Alright. I knew I should have started the trip earlier, but it was one of those things. Work had kept me later than I thought, and I did need the money. So I worked the extra shifts, and after 2 long, grueling days of back-to-back, late-night extra hours, I decided to take the trip cross-country to head home, at least what used to be my home, with my cat, Sylvester. I had debated whether or not to bring Sylvester with me. He wasn't the best road trip companion, as you might gather. Actually, trying to put him in his crate was something similar to suicide. The cat did not like the crate. I thought about leaving him with Rebecca, but after the epic Tuna snatch incident, where he had made a tremendous mess of a dinner that she had worked very difficult to make and prepare for us, because, in all honesty, Rebecca was not the best cook. I knew she wouldn't be too fond of watching my cat. So, despite better judgment, I took him with me. I have the scars on my arm to prove it. There we were, driving very, very slowly, cross country. We were going from the East Coast to California, straight to the West Coast. I had thought about taking Route 66, but instead relied on Google Maps to get me the best, quickest, most expedient route. And repeatedly, it kept shifting. Alternate routes, alternate routes, alternate routes. Traveling was not going to be a good thing for me. Anyway, there I was, driving, exhausted, tired, wondering how the trip home was going to end up. I hadn't talked with my mother and father for the better part of 10 years, and the only reason I was heading back this time was I had gotten news that my father was very sick, and everybody, Rebecca included, had told me, don't fuck up, don't be that guy, bury the hatchet, go see your father before he passes, or you'll always regret it. I knew they were right. My dad, we didn't get along very well, and that was somewhat of an understatement. And my mom, I did love my mom dearly, but also, she and I did not see eye to eye. But I had decided, as time had passed, and I couldn't really remember the real reasons why I was so angry at my father, I had decided enough time had passed. I would see my father. I would make amends with him, because that was the right thing to do. And what better time than Christmas? Fuck me, I groaned. The cat meowed angrily at me. Yeah, Sylvester, I know. Just hang tight, buddy. We only have another 12 hours left on this epic journey, and I really don't want to stop. We don't have the budget to stop, and if I stop at one of those rest stops, it's probably not going to be nice. I realized I was talking to the cat. I was very tired, but who else could I talk to? I debated taking the phone, calling up Rebecca, and having her talk to me while I was driving, but it was already 3 o'clock in the morning, and I wasn't gonna interrupt her beauty sleep, even though she really didn't need any beauty sleep. She was by far one of the most beautiful women I had ever seen in my entire life. Yeah. What the fuck should I do? Maybe I will stop at a rest stop. I was driving along. Suddenly I heard a low hum, and I could feel a vibration in the steering wheel. And I thought to myself, what could be causing that much bass? Suddenly, a light, the brightest light I had ever seen, illuminated the entire road. I looked ahead, didn't see any cars, looked behind me, no cars as well. I was alone on this fucking road, me and Sylvester, and a bright spotlight directly overhead. Images of aliens immediately popped in my head. What the fuck is going on? I hit the accelerator. not knowing why I was terrified suddenly. The car sped up, but then the car felt weird. What I mean weird is I could still feel the car trying to accelerate. I could feel the RPMs increasing, but I wasn't moving. I had stopped moving. What the fuck? Suddenly, the ground started to disappear below me. I was going up. Oh my... I couldn't even finish the thought. Suddenly, the light got so bright, I couldn't see anymore. So I decided to close my eyes, terrified. My heart began to pound. I could hear broom, 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 broom inside of my neck and my ears. What's going on? What is this? Oh my God. Thoughts ran through my head, racing like a racehorse, running around my little track of a brain. I felt completely helpless, overwhelmed, and also very, very terrified. I opened my eyes again, and the bright light had subsided. Instead, an eerie blue glow filled the area around me. It pulsed slowly. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Everything was a neon blue. Where are we? Sylvester, as wise as he was as a cat, made a noise I had not heard him make since I tried to put him in the crate. Yeah, I feel you, Sylvester. I debated letting the cat out of the crate, but then thought, how would I get him back in if I really had to? Here I was sitting in a car, surrounded by blue light, but I couldn't see beyond the light. Suddenly the car thudded down, harshly. We landed on something metallic and hollow sounding. I knew this because it made such a clank, such a noise, such a bang that shook and kind of echoed. Brang, gang, 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 gang. What the hell? I decided, open the door, look under the car. I did, and it was indeed metal. I stomped down on it once, testingly. It was holding the weight of the car, so I figured this wouldn't be bad. I stomped. What the hell? There was other sounds, muffled, but different sounds around me that I couldn't quite make out. Hang on a second, guys, sorry. Jesus Christ. There were other sounds, muffled, that I couldn't quite make out. They sounded mechanical in nature. Kind of a warbling sound. I got out the car, looked at the cat, decided, leave him where he was. He was probably safer there. I got out, closed the door. Thunk, thunk, thunk. Wherever I was big enough that acoustically it was creating really funky echoes. The blue light was directly overhead. Whatever had abducted us or taken us had decided it wasn't going to come down and greet us. Maybe they were watching. Great, I thought to myself. I needed to get out of here. I needed to get home. I was sitting there, wondering, God, I wanted to get home. I really wanted to get home. I walked forward a little bit, just to the edge of the light, just to see if I could see more. I took out my cell phone, looked at it. No signal. Wow, that's a big surprise, I thought to myself. But I turned on my cell phone light, and I shone it around. It did not show me much. Everything was empty in front of me, but there was a ground. So I decided, you know what? I will walk as far as I can walk, and I will see if I hit a wall or something, and then I'll just follow the wall. So I walked forward. All the while, cell phone up. And then I thought, you know what? People aren't going to believe that this happened to me, so maybe I should have the camera ready. I switched the app to the camera, and I continued to walk forward. As I did come to a wall, a very smooth wall. I reached out cautiously and I touched it. It was warm to the touch, and there was a vibration that matched the warbling sound that I heard. Okay, so there's something here. Let's keep following it. I was pretty much in darkness at this point. I looked back, and I could see my car still illuminated by the blue light. Suddenly, the light turned off. Dunk. Everything was dark now, except for what was illuminated by my cell phone. I quickly looked at the charge. It was sitting at 95%. I smiled. The benefits of leaving the charger on the car while driving. The charger in the car on the cell phone while driving. I followed the wall, and I walked for a good 5 minutes. How fucking big is this place? I wondered. What the hell? I came to a doorway, and it was closed. I put my hand on the door, and it was icy cold. I slid my hand from the center of the door to where the walls were. I could feel the heat coming off the wall, but none of that heat was transferred to the door. That's weird. It's the same material, but it's icy cold. I searched the sides, looking if there was some kind of a button, some kind of a receptacle, anything that could give me a clue on how to open the door. After a few minutes, I was frustrated. I looked at the door, and I just jokingly said out loud, "Open sesame." And the sumbitch opened. It slid open. What the... I was about to say something else when I saw movement in front of me. I looked, and there was a small being. Very small. And it wore green. It took my mind a beat, 2 beats of my heart to realize I was looking at something that reminded me of possibly a midget Christmas elf. Dressed in green, pointy ears, head tilted to the side with a grin on his face. Hello? I said cautiously. "Hi," he replied. "Oh, you speak English?" "Yep." "Okay. Not to be rude or anything, but, where am I?" "Oh, I'm not really supposed to tell you anything other than take you to the lab." "Well, what if I said I don't want to go to the lab?" At that point, he pulled out what looked to be a candy cane. He waved it at me, cautiously. "I could make you." "With candy?" I asked, eyebrow raised, staring at the small form. He nodded, with a grin. "Oh yeah, I could make you, but it would be better if you just came of your own free will." "Okay, kind of like the same free will as being abducted, car and all?" "Yeah, I know, it's a bit over the top, and it is a bit extreme, but we can't necessarily go down to the surface and check you guys out one by one. We kind of have to just check you all a little bit at a time. Trust us. Not that big of a deal. You coming?" Thought about it. "After I'm done, can you guys drop me at my parents'?" "Where's that?" "California." Yeah, I think we could do that. I think that's the least we could do." "Okay." I thought about the 12 hours I still had ahead of me. and there was a little bit of excitement. The small elf, maybe, wasn't being aggressive, and he wasn't being mean, and if anything else, he seemed to be fairly likable. I shrugged. Alright, fuck it. Where's the lab? Follow me. I did. I wondered, as I looked at him, dressed as he was, would I come across Santa? Maybe Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Maybe even Frosty the Snowman? I chuckled. He looked back over. What's so funny? I'm just wondering, you're kind of dressed like a elf from the North Pole, maybe, like Santa's helper? He smiled. There was something in the smile that made me a little nervous. He nodded. Yeah, I get that sometimes. It's always funny, this time of year especially. That's the first thing you guys always say. Well, do you not understand why that is? Oh no, I'm fully versed on all of the human culture, different holidays, languages, etc. But this is my natural clothing. Really? That's interesting. We walked on again for another 5-10 minutes, and I looked at him. This place is really big, isn't it? Oh yeah, but this is one of the smaller ships, but it is pretty big. We're almost there. I looked as we walked. I saw nothing else. No other person. Just the elf and I, and the echo of our footsteps as we walked. All of the walls were smooth, nondescript, but there was still heat radiating from the walls, but none of the doors. Why is it that the heat comes from the walls, but it doesn't seem to affect the doors? He shrugged. Got me. I didn't build the place. I just drive it. Oh, so you're a pilot? He nodded. Yep. I fly this, and I also kind of do a tour and bring you to the lab for the professor to take a look at you. Professor, huh? Is it going to hurt? What's that? The exam that the professor's going to do. No anal probing or anything, right? At that, he laughed. Laughed hard. It's not that kind of exam, Chief. We don't do those. We're not biological. We're more just checking on the mental health, making sure you guys are, well adjusted to the environment down below. I'm a little confused. So you mean the alien abductions with the anal probing, that shit happens? Oh yeah, all the time. But it's really just for your guys' own well-being, really. I mean, we got to make sure you guys aren't getting sick, and so we need samples. We need blood samples, stool samples, blah, 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 blah. Thankfully, this ain't one of those ships. This one's more just to check your head out, make sure your mind's right. I shrugged. Shit, I almost think I'm going a little crazy right now. No, you're not crazy. Tired, but you're not crazy. Okay. All right. How much further? We're here. He had stopped, and we had been talking for a little bit. He motioned at a doorway. Oh, okay, so what do I do? Well, I'm going to open a door. You're going to see Professor. You're going to sit down, and you're just going to answer his questions. He's going to put something on your head. It's going to feel a little weird, but whatever you do, you got to tell the truth, and then he's going to show you some puzzles. Do the best you can. There are really no wrong answers, and we're just kind of gauging a few things, okay? I shrugged. Okay, tests, huh? I kind of suck at tests. Look, we all suck at tests. Relax, Chief. You'll be fine. The door slid open, and inside was a large, large thing. And let me emphasize the word thing. It had multiple arms. Some were fleshy, some were mechanical, and some were, I don't even have a word to describe it. It almost looked like physical smoke. It just dangled from the side, but then it shifted and sometimes resembled an arm and sometimes a tentacle and sometimes other things, but it was definitely part of it. I couldn't see a face, not one that I could recognize anyway, and I looked at the elf. I don't want to be rude. I don't know what I'm supposed to look at. Oh, you can look anywhere you want. It has sensory points along its entire form. There's not an area you could stand where it wouldn't be able to see, smell, and sense you. And your thoughts. Serious? Serious. Now he is expecting you to walk over to that chair and sit in it. Okay. Alright. I walked over to the chair, sat down, and let me tell you, I can't say much about their technology or anything else, but I can tell you one thing. That was the most comfortable fucking chair I have ever sat in my entire life. As I sat down in it, it felt like I was sitting on something solid at first, and then it felt like, I don't know, a warm waterbed. A warm waterbed that kind of conformed to all of my curves, and as it did, it solidified again and it kind of hugged me. It felt, and this is a little weird, but that's the first thing that came to my mind. It felt like millions of tiny tentacles, the suction cups on them, that just held on to me, gently squeezed me, and there was a slight electrical current that flowed through my body. Very comfortable, very soothing. The vibrations that it created were amazing. I felt myself falling asleep quickly. A loud voice boomed in my head. Please do not sleep. What? I said, alarmed at how loud it was in my head. The elf said, Yo, 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 turn it down a notch. This is a human being we're talking about here. Don't blow out his fucking brains. Yeah, don't blow out my brains. Sorry. Better? I nodded. Yeah, hey, there you go, perfect. That's perfect. I can hear you loud and clear, Chief. How am I hearing him? It's not my ears. Yeah, he's talking to you telepathically. That's what he does. Oh. Okay. So what happens now? Now I ask questions and test you. Okay. First question. Where were you going to this late at night? Well, I'm driving home. Christmas is coming up, and I'm seeing my folks. Pause. Folks. Mother. Father. I sense drama. I sense discord. Please explain. Yeah, I had a falling out with my folks, but my dad's sick, so I'm going to see him. Understood. Makes sense. What is your fondest memory of home? Oh, man. Home. Well, my mom, man, she can cook. She makes this Virginia ham that is just to die for. I've never had a ham as good as the way she does it. It's salty, but it's so good. And she prepares some black-eyed peas, hog jowls, things like that. And she also makes a roast. It's just too much food, really. But whenever we're done eating, we take the leftovers, prepare a bunch of little small meals, and then we head over to the shelter and give out food to the homeless. You do this frequently. Well, we did. As I grew up, we did that every year. It's been a long time since I've been home. But tradition maintains, yes, I do something similar. I don't know how to cook like my mom does, and I instead go out and buy a bunch of food and prepare it and eat, and then when I'm done, I go and feed the homeless. Admirable trait. Charity. Very good. I have a puzzle first before we continue. I need you to close your eyes. I did. There were several boxes that appeared in front of me. Different colors. Holes. Different pegs, if you will. Kind of pegs going in the hole. And I looked at them. Okay, what is this? In front of you is 3 pegs. 1 peg is good. 1 peg is bad. The peg in the middle is neutral. I will present to you images to which you will place the pegs inside of the appropriate hole, and this will help me to gauge your thinking process. Okay. Is there a wrong answer? No wrong answer. I just need to see how you process. Okay. First thing he showed me was a mother breastfeeding a child. The baby cooed, and I could feel the warmth between the mother and the daughter. Yes, it was indeed a daughter. I didn't know how I knew this, but it was apparent to me. Information that normally my eyes and ears and other senses would not be able to discern were suddenly very, very prominent in my mind. I knew what the mother was thinking. I knew what the baby was thinking, which was a real interesting concept, because my entire life I thought a baby couldn't think of anything, but here this baby was having really weird abstract thoughts. Okay. Peg, please. I grabbed the good peg, put it in the hole, and I waited. Very good. Next. It showed a man beating on another man. And at first I looked. I could sense there was some kind of dispute. They were fighting over something. The man who was on the ground being beaten had stolen something from the other man. I reached for bad for a second, thought about it. Then I reached for the good, and I paused. I thought about it, and my hand went back and forth between the pegs. I was torn. I wasn't quite sure what the right answer was. So I thought, well, conflict itself must be bad. So I grabbed the bag peg, and I plugged it in. Interesting. Oops, wait, wrong hole, hold on. So I took the peg, and I put the good peg in. Why did you change? I put initially what I thought you wanted to know, but the honest answer is I think it's actually good that the man who's beating on the other man is getting some form of revenge. That was my first instinct, and I should have followed it. Continue. This will be the last. Okay. This one was interesting. It showed images of my mother and father. It showed my father in a medical bed. My mother was crying, and there he was, looking very, very old, very frail, too emaciated, too skinny. I was not enjoying this at all. This was actually hitting a very painful fear deep within my heart. Again, I reached for the good at first, felt ashamed, grabbed the bad, and I plugged it in. Please explain. You hesitated over good. Yeah, me and my dad, we don't get along very well. My dad said really hurtful things the last time I saw him, and there's a part of me that always wanted him dead. I felt ashamed. My face flushed. I don't know. There's been times though where secretly I I hoped he would die, but then I got word that he was sick, and then I felt really bad that maybe I was the one that caused him to be sick. Interesting. Enough. The images faded from me. I sat there again. The thing staring at me. I sniffled, wiped my eyes, wiped my nose. I realized I had been crying a little bit. This is difficult. I am sorry, but I need you to continue to see a few more things, then we shall continue. Okay. What would you do to someone who does this? An image appeared in front of me. And at first I couldn't tell what it was. It was a large carcass sitting in the snow. And there was crimson and black all around it. Steam rose from the carcass and the snow. What is that? The image widened in front of me and got closer, and I could see it was a deer, perhaps. And then I realized, no, it was a bloody reindeer. I thought to myself, that's appropriate. Christmas coming and all, but why would... I don't know. The reindeer itself was mutilated brutally. Pieces torn out of it. It didn't look like a gun had done it. It didn't look necessarily like an animal had done it. It just looked like something savagely had torn chunks out of the reindeer. I felt indifferent. I would do nothing. I don't know the circumstances on what caused it to die. I don't know what did that. It was something on your planet. What would you do to it? Can I see the event as it happened so I have a better understanding? To do this would require more uncomfortable techniques. Well, I need it. Before I say what I would do, I need to see the circumstances around it. I looked again, and the smoky part of the thing began to solidify, and it snaked towards me. I felt a coldness tickle up in my nose, in my mouth, and in both of my ear holes. I felt it tingle and shoot in. There was an electrical sensation that shot into my mind. My eyes saw the carcass, and then time seemed to roll backwards, and then there was a massive form that had been stalking it, waiting, watching, and when the time was appropriate, it jumped down, tore into the deer, threw bits and pieces this way and that, and then as it lay dying, it peed on it. What the hell? The snakiness, the smokeness left me, and I stared at the thing. How did you do that? I had to share an experience with you. I had to share the animal's existence, its last thoughts, its view, its essence. You can do that? Yes. Okay. What the fuck? Why did that thing just kill it and piss on it? It is its nature. Is it going to eat it? No. It likes to kill. Only reindeer? It paused and then repeated. It likes to kill. It doesn't care what it kills? No. Then I think it should be put down. I mean, an animal that just runs around killing other animals for no reason, not to eat, not anything but to just kill it and piss on it, should die. Interesting. We'll continue with a few more questions. What is your favorite movie? Oh, well that's easy. That's motherfucking Die Hard. Die Hard. Yeah, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. It's kind of a Christmas movie. It's an action movie, but it's one of my favorites. Why? Again, shame filled me. I realized it was one of the first movies that my father had allowed me to watch that was R-rated. Oh. It was a movie I watched with my dad. Interesting. Seems that inevitably you needed to reconcile with your father. Yes. Good. Good? Yes. Why is it good? It's good because it lets us know that mentally your species is not crazy. Some other sampling has shown really disappointing results of mental stability. Where were they sampled from? I asked curiously. The coasts. It seems humans along the water are now not processing things correctly. Really? Okay. Could you elaborate? Men acting as women, women acting as men, creating artificial gender definitions. I started to laugh at that. Holy shit. Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, it does seem like they're a little fucking crazy, but I don't really think that's really the point. I think really they are just trying to get attention because at the end of the day, we all want to be something special. You are special. We are? Yes. Well, you could just be saying that just to make me feel good. No, I do not. It is not in my nature to lie. But humans are endangered, special. Well, our job is to ensure you do not go crazy. Okay, so if we all did go crazy, then what? We would start over. Ooh, okay, that sounds a bit fucking ominous. Okay, well, what else? I believe the questioning is done. I have one final thing to do before we drop you off. Okay? This sounds scary. It is. What is it? I need to submit you to a break test to see what levels it would go to break you. Okay? That sounds, again, the smoke assailed me, went into every opening, this time also my eyes. I was suddenly filled with time that I have no idea. There was horrendous things that I saw. Horrible, horrible experiences. Each one varied. Each one so distinct in the way that I felt. Finally, after I have no idea how much time had passed, I heard something screaming and realized it was me. And the smoke came out. It looked at me. You were stronger than most. I had to be more creative with you. Be proud, human. You are exceptional among your peers. My heart was racing. I was covered in sweat. The memories of the horrible things that I had witnessed rapidly faded. What did you do? I had to submit your mind to various forms of torment, to see, to understand. Fuck, was all I could say. I felt somewhat violated, but thankfully, the details, the memories, the pieces, I could not recall. They were all fading quickly. Oh my god, dude, what the hell did you do? Man, that was rough. Yes, I apologize. It is not our intent to hurt, not our intent to permanently damage, but we do need to measure. We need the information. Okay. So what happens now? We are at your parents' house right now. Really? Yes. There are others here as well. Instead of just your parents, there are multiple people as well. I was a little confused. As far as I knew, my mother and father never had guests. I wondered, could they be possibly having some kind of a Christmas party or some other kind of event? I don't know who else would be here. Seems like it is other members of your clan. My family? Well, I know I have an uncle and an aunt, and they have a bunch of kids, but I don't really know anything on that side of... Oh, I understood. Are they all related to my father? Yes. Can you see his health from here? Yes. Okay, I'm gonna reach hard here. Is there a way for you guys to heal what my father has? Yes. Would you do it for me? It depends. What does it depend on? What would you trade for your father's health? A man whom secretly you hoped would die. What would you trade? I paused then, thought about it. Thought about my life. Thought about the things that I had achieved and things I had yet to achieve. I wanted to share my accomplishments with my father. I wanted to tell him about the adventures I had gone on. Hell, I wanted to tell him about the time that I got pulled on a fucking spaceship and they fucking tested my ass. I guess I would give up some of my time. If we could give your time to him, how much time would be sufficient? Again, I thought, must be a test. Well, since no one knows how much time they have in store for them, and it could be, I could be dead in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. You will live to be 87. How the fuck do you know this? Our technology is far superior to that of the humans. Okay. And if I decide to live to 65? Yes. We could take that extra time and pass it to your father and heal him until that time. Okay. How do I do it? Again, understand, human. This is not going to be comfortable. This is something you are asking for. Yeah, that's fine. So be it. Again, smokiness came, but this time it went into my mouth, which I opened, and I felt it go into my throat, down into my insides. I felt it, all of it, throughout my entire body. And then it came back, and it solidified, and there was a glowing dot. Something about the size of a Mento. And it glowed. Take this. Okay. I held it in my hand, and it was like holding solidified electricity. Your father will need to eat this. That could be a tough order. He probably will tell me to go bite myself. Provide him with whatever evidence you need. I looked at the elf. I looked at the thing. Selfie, maybe? Fine. Really? Yes. Okay. I pulled out my phone and I took a selfie. And then I put my phone away. This will heal him? Yes. Okay. All right. So what happens now? I will return you to your vehicle, place you in the vehicle driveway of your parents' house, and leave you. Well, thank you. Do not thank us. You provided much needed information. Thank you, Mr. David Johnson. Okay, thank you. A flash, and I was sitting in my car again. Another flash, and I was down in the driveway. I looked around. Snow was falling heavily, and I realized it was going to be another amazing white Christmas. So I thought about it. I looked again at my hand. I could see the glowing orb of energy there. I grabbed Sylvester, ran into the house, ran towards the house, knocked on the door. My mother opened the door. She looked at me. "Oh, honey, I wasn't expecting you till tomorrow." "I know, Mom. Where's Dad and who's all the folks here?" How do you know there's other people here?" "Oh, all the cars back there." I looked and realized that my car had appeared on the driveway, but all the other cars were blocking, so that presented a question of how the hell did I get my car in? She looked and I said, "So where's Dad?" "Oh, here, follow me, son." As we walked in, she said, Your aunt and uncle and them are here because, your dad's not doing so well." "Yeah, okay. Where's Dad?" "He's in the bedroom. Can I talk to him alone?" Yeah, I suppose that's fine, son." I ran upstairs, opened the door, saw my dad, severely emaciated. He could barely turn his head to look at me. "Dad!" I closed the door behind me, put Sylvester down in his crate. The cat purred, almost encouraging me. I walked forward, sat next to my dad. "Dad, you're not going to believe this, but I can make you better." Son?" "Dad, don't say anything. I just need you to open your mouth." He looked at me, confused. Then he nodded, and he opened his mouth. I took the ball of energy and I placed it there. He closed his mouth. He swallowed. His eyes widened. His body shook. I watched his flesh become healthier, fuller. I watched muscles that had deteriorated fill back on top of his bones. And as it did, I felt an ache inside of me. I realized it had begun. After 2 minutes, he groaned and moaned, and his eyes opened and he stared at me. "Son, what the hell did you do?" "I kind of healed you, Dad." "How?" That's a whole big story, Dad. That's a very big story." He flexed his hands, sat up, smiled at me. "I feel real good, son. I feel real good." "Yeah, Dad. I'm sure you do." The door opened and my mom was there with my aunt and uncle, and they all came in. Everybody was amazed. My father looked healthy. He looked strong. My mother looked at me inquisitively. "What did you do, son?" "Mom, you guys aren't going to believe this, but I've got a story to tell you." And then I began to tell the story, and at first everybody rolled their eyes, but they continued to look at my father. And finally, when I was done with the story, I said, "Here you go." I took out my cell phone, went to my camera, opened the photograph, and there they were, the elf and the professor, and me, with the cheesiest, weirdest look on my face. Everybody was quiet. I looked at my father that was healthy. I looked at everybody else. I said, "You know what? Doesn't matter. I'm home now. Dad's going to be okay for a little bit. I think everything's going to be okay. God bless everyone." And everybody, tears in their eyes, all came together and hugged and nodded. and said, God bless us. Alright, that's it. So, we have Tuna, Snatch, Oops, Wrong Hole, Bloody Reindeer, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, White Christmas, Yippee-Ki-Yay, motherfuckers, God Bless Everyone, Ham, Christmas Party, Midget Christmas Elf, Black Eyed Peas, and Hog Jowls. That's it. That was all of the keywords and everything else in there. Put that all together. I don't think I missed anything, so we got 13 keywords in there, and it was a very interesting story. So, there you guys go. Still ended up being a Christmas story and everything else, but a little bit on the odd side, a little bit on the weird side, but I think overall it worked out well, and that's it. So, yep, we'll be doing this again next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Again, thank you for everybody that came and provided keywords and stuff to this. I appreciate the hell out of you guys. And that's going to be it for now. So, you guys have a very Merry Christmas and be safe. Fill your households with as much love and happiness as possible. And remember, guys, charity and love and compassion and letting people know that you care about what you think doesn't have to be relegated to just the holidays, because you never know what tomorrow's going to bring. So always share your love and your happiness and your joy with anybody that will accept it, right? Alright guys, that's going to be it for now. Hope you like it, and I will see you guys next week, but that is going to be it for now. Alright guys, thanks.